Hey everybody, Tim Brahim, Performance Experts Coaching and Leadership 360 with another business and life tip for you. And this week's life tip will begin with me asking you a rhetorical question. And it's not one that you have to feel pressure to have the answer to in this moment. In fact, the intention of this question is for you to ponder it for the next days and weeks until which time you've come to a place within yourself to where you realize that, yeah, that's it, that's the activity. So the question is this: what activity are you aware of that you've engaged in your life in the past, that you were so present, inspired, and motivated by that you could have continued to do it for an indefinite period of time? So the follow-up question to that is this: do you have the courage to make the commitment to start doing that activity much more consistently in your life? Now, for some of you, this might result in you even pondering a career change. For others, it may be something you need to be doing more often for yourself personally that gives meaning to your life. But too often times, out of our own fears of being selfish, our own fears of others not liking us because we're not taking care of them and supporting them as much as we think we need to be, we opt out of taking good care of ourselves. And that's the very relationship that requires more attention and presence and care than any other, because until which time we're taking good care of ourselves, I'm not really quite sure how we're going to show up and be our fullest of value to others in our lives. Now, if you struggle with the answer to this question and you just can't come up with anything, I want you to think about what Michelangelo, the great Italian artist, said. Now, Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, and he also sculpted probably the greatest sculpture on the planet, which is the biblical story of David from David and Goliath. So the David, which is in Florence, Italy, was sculpted by Michelangelo. And when they asked him about his ability to take this huge piece of marble and to carve from it the David, he responded saying, "My job was very simple: to remove away the rock in order to set the David free." So in other words, he viewed it that the David was already inside the rock, and his job was to carve away the outlying rock and to remove from it what was around it to set this beautiful and amazing sculpture free. So what's the metaphor there? Well, your job is the same. Your job would be to then start asking yourself the question: what are the things that I'm aware of that it is not? What are the activities that I'm engaging in my life on a daily and weekly basis that don't give me an energy positive experience, that take away from my precious time that I'd like to be giving more of to myself? Now, this will take some courage, because you will butt up against belief systems of things that you think you have to do, things that you think people expect you to do, and things that you think that you're obligated to do. And I want you to remember that those are the things that are trapping that fullest experience of life and that fullest expression of who you are. And it's your job to carve away those things to set yourself free. Hope that you've found this life tip helpful to you. We'll be back to you next week, and have a wonderful week.